I don't think it was too much of a stretch to assume that at a place called Booster Tower, I'd be fighting the man named Booster. But unfortunately, I didn't deliberately fail the hide-and-seek minigame at the start of this to fight him, so I guess we have to settle for the knife guy and Grate guy double teaming. There's a couple of issues with this set piece. First of all, how are these guys in the Booster gang? They're clowns in a group made up of sniffets, so they are really out of place, and then there's Grate guy. His bro knife guy makes sense for obvious reasons, but why is the clown who uses a giant ball and bullhorn as weapons called Grate guy? This battle happening for no reason, but at least it makes a decent enough ending to the Booster Tower climb since it's a definite challenge. The setup is pretty standard in having a duo boss battle with one focusing on melee attacks and the other's magic, and that makes the player need to think about a more complicated strategy to be successful since they have completely different resistances and shit. Thankfully, Bowser partnered up in the Mario crew, so now the player has their long-needed tank character. Battling these two is actually quite simple and only requires the player to figure out who's vulnerable to melee or magic, and then focusing damage on the occasional healing, so like all other RPG bosses, what's going to determine victory or failure is how many potions the player came into the fight with. Sure, Grate guy will toss out status ailments like sleep and mute that makes things a bit harder, but not by much. The only thing to look out for is their totem pole attack where they spam Meteor Blast and Blizzard that'll hit all characters for medium damage. What destroys the difficulty for this fight is that it's longer than most and both clowns don't have the mana to sustain themselves for that long. So more often than not, the player will not have to worry about magic anymore from about the halfway point. Then the two clowns die without ceremony, leaving the Mario gang to jump down from a top Booster Tower in order to continue the chase for Princess Peach. So really all this boss fight does for the plot is to act as a distraction. However, like Punchinello, Knife Guy and Grate Guy don't have the vibrancy to make the battle memorable, so yeah, pretty standard stuff for an RPG boss, honestly.